is Sanchez.
Frank
That's
Sanchez.
and if Moses is able to beat Sanchez, it's gonna
Yeah.
not
But
it's not gonna look too good on Torres. Like just
oh hell no, it ain't.
yeah,
And
yeah.
then
Go ahead.
next Wednesday, I don't know if I can make it out, but there's a screening for a short film for this girl that I know named Daisy. It's Coach
Yeah.
Daisy, and she has like a in LA, like in downtown LA, she runs like a little boxing gym, but
Okay.
it's also like a little safe haven for taggers, right? They can go and tag, do whatever they want, paint the walls, tag up, do whatever they want.
Yeah.
And we've done a food drive there before, whatever, but they did a short film on like the boxing community, and they're gonna have like a special screening. There's gonna be a lot of fighters and stuff there. It's supposed to be really good. So you're invited to go. I'll send you all the information on that too.
Okay.
So
Yeah. Send it to me. I should be able to make it.
yeah, it's called The Corner, the name of the film.
Okay.
And yeah, she's cool as hell too, man. That girl,
Yeah.
Daisy. Yeah. So there was a kid that got killed a few weeks ago. Nah, not a few weeks ago, maybe about 2 months ago in East LA. He went to get food with his little brother and got shot, and they killed him.
Yeah.
He was like a coach, a boxing coach right there at her gym.
Oh shoot.
Yeah. So I sent you the poster. I'm gonna be posting it up in a while. Like after this, I'll post it up or
Yeah.
whatever. But I sent you the flyer.
Okay. Yeah. I'll post it once we get done with this. I'll post it up on both my
Yeah.
pages. Man, so they just confirmed it August 22nd. Uh Rolly Romero versus Teofimo Lopez. I
Teofimo,
don't
yeah, man.
yeah, I like it, but I don't like it because August 22nd. Well, August 21st is my son's birthday, he turned 7. And then so August 22nd, we're supposed to do something for him. So even if I was able to go or get whatever, I can't go because yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna be able to make it either because that's the day of the butterfly brawl.
Yes, that too. Yeah.
And we got stuff going on in Santa Monica that whole weekend, so there's and I'm already committed to that. I'm already
Yeah.
committed to that. Um,
Yeah, I seen that too, and I was like, "Oh, I can't make that either because of like it's I already had it's a surprise.
yeah,
Like he wants a birthday party, but we told him we can't do it, and so we're doing a little surprise for him. And then like all these things are coming up on the 22nd. I'm like, oh man, yeah,
yeah. And then yeah, I have an employee where I work because I work for the veterans home, and I
yeah,
have an employee who last year, like in September, October, his little girl started getting sick. She's 6 years old, and they found like 4 brain tumors. So she's been undergoing
yeah,
radiation therapy and stuff. She just finished her last therapy today, as a matter of fact, and we're gonna dedicate those fights to like his family and stuff. And
okay,
one of the tumors is still going back. They sent the biopsy of it to St. Jude and then to San Francisco, University of San Francisco,
yeah,
and they want to get him into St. Jude to the St. Jude's Children's Hospital in Tennessee to try to do some experimental stuff on her, to try to get that tumor out, so
yeah, jeez,
and they're poor, they're poor, the family's poor and stuff. So we're trying to
yeah,
do stuff for that family, raise some money at the WBC, and then with the butterfly bronze stuff, give some of those proceeds to the family because he was even planning it out like if he had to go, it's like a 40-hour drive for him, man.
yeah,
And they were asking like, well, why doesn't he fly? I'm like, he doesn't have the money to just buy plane tickets for him and his family to fly out there, like. So, and he's working, the mom stays with the little girl at the Ronald McDonald House in Loma Linda, but he still
yeah,
has to work because he has to have the insurance and he still has 2 boys to take care of too. So it's a tough situation, so at least I know like that money and stuff's going to go to a good cause. It's
yeah.
actually going to like, part of it is going to go to somebody to a
That
family that's fighting
yeah,
and dealing
that
with
can
like childhood
actually
cancer.
yeah that can actually use it, and it's gonna go to good use.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So shout out to Mike Habibi, Fight Book, and the Butterfly Brawl, WBC, all that
yeah.
stuff, man.
Yes,
Shout
sir.
out to Icon, man. Happy birthday, Icon. Today's
Yeah,
Icon's birthday, man. So shout out to
it's an
to
icon.
Icon, man.
Yeah, to man, today for
For sure.
me, it's I know it's too many people close to me that have birthdays. Icon, my sister, my little nephew, um, Tom Loeffler's birthday's today too.
Tom Lawford,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Today's Tom
So it's
Lawford's
like,
birthday.
yeah,
A
it's
lot of
like, man,
people.
July 7th is crazy. My other cousin, my older cousin's birthday today. Like it's a lot of people birthday today. It's crazy.
Sure. All right, man. Well, let's get into it, man. Yeah, Rolly and Teofimo, man. Like I I think that's gonna be a hell of a fight.
Hmm.
I still think Teofimo beats him. I
Yeah.
don't know, man. I just don't I don't think that I don't think Rolly's I don't think he's elite. I don't. I think he's a title holder. Yeah,
Yeah.
he beat Ryan Garcia, but man, I don't know. I just don't think he's there. He looked bad against Pitbull. I mean, he was winning those rounds, but he got caught, and I just think Teofimo's better technically. I think
Hmm.
the only thing that worries me about Teo is that sometimes he's not always there mentally, and I don't know if that power is going to carry. He hasn't
Yeah.
been knocking people out the way he was at 35. He wasn't doing that at 40, and now if he's going up to 47 to fight for this title, I don't know if he's gonna have that same pop where Rolly
Yeah.
will. Rolly can
Yeah.
catch him. If Rolly can catch him, Rolly can hurt Teofimo. That's the only
Yeah.
thing that kind of worries me as far as boxing goes. I think Teofimo, he has that style, where he's gonna be in and out, he's gonna be scoring points
Hmm.
or whatnot. But I think at any point of the fight, where he cracks Rolly and Rolly says he can't hurt me,
Yeah.
Rolly's gonna try to get in there and make it a rough fight for Teofimo,
Yeah.
and try
For
to
sure.
swing wild, double up that left jab, kind of the way or left hook the way he did against Ryan. And
Yeah.
interesting, interesting a fight. But yeah, man, I like it, man. I wish I could be there.
I know. Yeah. Yeah. I wish I could be there too. I just the things going up is of course Teal's his mindset. Like if which Teal are we getting? That's like the question with him. But also is the size, right? He's not a big. He wasn't a big 40. He wasn't. He was a big 35er, but he
Yeah,
wasn't like super big at 35. But he was one of the bigger ones at 35. At 40, he wasn't really that big. So even going up to 47, I like Rolly's going to be the bigger fighter. Like he's going to be the bigger. He's going to be the stronger fighter at 47.
maybe
Rolly is
even
pretty.
faster.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Yeah, Rolly is. He does have the speed, right? He does have the speed and the power. He's really awkward. So on paper, looking at it on paper, Teofimo should come out. He should win. It's just the size, the speed, the power. If if Rolly doesn't if Teo doesn't earn Rolly's respect early, it's gonna be a long night. He's just gonna be walking in. The footwork is gonna be towards on Teofimo's side. The footwork, he's gonna have the advantage on the footwork, moving in laterally, in and out, angles. That's gonna be it's gonna be on Teofimo's side on that part. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I just some part of me, I think Rolly can pull it off. I think Rolly can pull it off.
Yeah, Vegas has him opening the line because remember I told you I was looking for the line last week and
Mhm.
they didn't have anything because it wasn't confirmed yet, but they have Lopez as a slight favorite,
A slight
minus
favorite.
200. Yeah, I mean that's not a big odds, I mean,
No.
that he's gonna win. And that's to me, I think that's about right. Teofimo should win. He should
Yeah.
be able to outbox him, but there's always that chance. I think Rolly's like he said, he's got the speed, he's got the power, he's got the height. He's the naturally bigger fighter.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think there's he's definitely a live dog.
For sure.
Definitely a live dog. So
And the what makes this fight more interesting is just because of that's what's been talked about a lot, right? The mindset of Teofimo Lopez, the
yeah,
team, and everything. So that, and also this is boxing. Like this is boxing. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
So
Yeah.
anything can happen. So that's what kind of makes this fight a little more interesting. And we've seen Rolly Romero get better, right? We've seen him improve. We've seen him get. He still has that awkward style and the awkward timing, but we've seen him get better. Like he's gotten better as the fights as he kept fighting. He is coming off a long layoff. Teofimo maybe has the advantage in that sense because he's been active, but he's coming off a loss as well. So coming off a loss, Rolly's coming off a win, but a long layoff. So it's just all these factors make this fight interesting, and they both have the name, right? They both have the name. They both are tied into each other because they come back from the 35ers, right? They come up like around that.
Yeah.
All those guys are all tied in together, and so yeah, this is a fight that should happen. Like,
Yeah, it should happen, and like you said, they're all tied in together. That group of the five, Devin Haney, um, Ryan Garcia, Shakur Stevenson, Teofimo Lopez, and Rolly. They're all came in about the same time, all in the same weight divisions, and gradually have gone their own, have had carved out their own path.
yeah,
So we'll see how this fight plays out.
for sure. Yeah, we'll get more in depth as we keep going, get closer to the fight.
Yes.
It's not that far away.
No.
It's
a little over a month, 6 weeks.
So yeah, it's kind of interesting too. I'm pretty sure they've been talking about it, so they've probably both been in camp because it's less than a month, like about a month, a little bit over a month. So it's yeah, man, it's interesting. It's very interesting.
It's something that's been taught. It's been talked about. I think both fighters have already been in camp, getting ready for it. So
no, for sure.
Yeah, we're gonna see how Teofimo does moving up again. Moving up another weight class. Like I said, we'll see if that power's there, because if he can tag Rolly a couple times and Rolly not feel that power or not get shook, expect Rolly to go balls to the wall trying to get Teofimo out of there.
Oh yeah.
He's gonna sit there and try to bang with them. So yeah.
And for Teofimo, he needs to stay focused and stay into the game plan. If you want to win this fight, he has to box. He has to use his agility. He has to use his footwork, and he has to box. He has to use like we say that Rolly might have a slight speed advantage, but we're not. That doesn't still take away the speed of Teofimo Lopez, right? He's still gonna have a speed, and then his footwork is gonna make him look faster than his hand speed really is, right? And so if he's able to go there, box, counter, and stick to the game plan and not get pulled in to a Rolly fight, into what Rolly wants to do, Rolly's gonna want and stand there face to face, and he's want to bang, because that's where he's gonna have the advantage. He has the quick hands, he has the power, and so he's gonna want to stay right there face to face, stay in the pocket, and you can't do that. If you're Teofimo Lopez, you can't do that.
He's got, like you said, he's got to be technical. Because they say speed beats power, but timing beats speed. He's got to be able to time him. He's got to be able to counter him. He's got to be able to box and get in there. And I think you're gonna. Teofimo has to box and be a lot more technical than Rolly does. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying Rolly doesn't have to train or get in shape or be, no, none of that. I'm not saying any of that. But what I'm saying is that because of the power and because of his size, because of the equalizers in both hands, and the left and the right, he can touch Theo, and it might be it could be a dangerous fight for him. So where, because we don't know, and that's the thing, we know the power Rolly has up there, but we don't know if that power is going to carry with Teofimo. He may be stronger. He may get a nutrition coach. He may start lifting weights. He may have that power. He may be able to hurt Rolly. We just don't know.
We don't know, because we haven't seen it in a while, right? We haven't seen those high loud knockouts from Teofimo in a while, and that's what we're saying. And we're not trying to diminish anybody, but we just haven't seen it. So especially now you're moving up to 47. There's big boys up at 47, right? There's big boys.
Yeah, guys that can bang, man.
Yeah.
And the thing is too is that he's got to have, like you said, he's got to stick to the game plan, right? But if that game plan fails, he's got that coaching staff, that team, they've got to put together something where there is a plan A, there is a plan B, there is a plan C if
Yeah.
things aren't working, and not just screaming and yelling at him in the corner,
Yeah.
telling him to hit him, hit him, hit him,
Yeah, where's your
give him some
power, bro?
direction.
Like we're at
Where's the power?
47
Come
now.
on,
It's
bro.
different.
Like,
Like, come on.
yeah,
Yeah.
so his dad, man, I mean, I know it's his dad, and it's just
Yeah.
like sometimes you might need to step away from that, sometimes you might need to step away, have somebody looking at it from the outside in, and being like, these are things you can fix, iron sharpens iron.
Yeah.
And maybe it's just things that his dad doesn't notice, because that's his son and he thinks it's always going to work. Where
Hmm.
somebody from the outside is going to be like, that don't work. And
Yeah.
this is why, and be able to take some constructive criticism and be able to fix any flaws that he has,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, because you have to. Because look, we saw it with Ryan Garcia, right? Ryan Garcia has went through different trainers, and then now he's ended back with his dad. And maybe that time apart gave his dad a different perspective, or gave Ryan a different perspective on training and fighting and listening to coaches. Because I understand everybody wants to say Mario Barrios he was an elite. He's not this, but the thing in that fight, we saw Ryan Garcia focused, and we saw Ryan Garcia listening and sticking to the game plan. And
Yeah.
those are big things. So if you go and because Ryan Garcia has all the attributes, he's fast, he's powerful, he has the charisma, and he's willing to go in there and fight. And so if we get a Ryan Garcia that's focused and listens to a game plan, and we've seen it before, right? When he was with Goosen, when he was with Reynoso, he had his moments where he was focused and then he wasn't focused. He was there, he wasn't there. And so, but now in that fight, he's back with his dad against Barrios. I feel like we saw a different Ryan in the ring, a one
Yeah.
that listens, the one that had a game plan and stuck to the game plan and didn't change and didn't chase the knockout, right? He didn't go and looking for the knock. He heard Barrios, but he stuck to the game plan. And that's what needs to be happening with Teofimo Lopez. Maybe he does need to go and look around, and maybe it gives the dad and the son different perspectives, and they're able to take time apart from each other a little bit. And if they come back together, they come back together, but at least they go and learn some new things, learn some new tricks, learn some new communication skills, learn sometimes it's good to step away, right?
Yeah, exactly. It is, and that's, I've seen it in the past, with fighters that have had their fathers in the corner, you know,
Yeah.
where they've brought in other people to help, I mean, you look at Jojo Diaz, for the longest time, his dad was his trainer,
Yeah.
but yet he'd have Ben Lira in there with them, which is Ben Lira is he's a legend in the sport of boxing, and Abel Sanchez and different people that have come in and, to help his dad, because his dad only, was limited to what he could help his son with. And,
Yeah.
I've seen it with Sean Porter, his dad's always in his corner, but he's had, different coaches in there, even with Virgil, his dad was his coach bringing him up. And then it was Joao Diaz, then it was Robert Garcia, then it was Manny Robles. Now it's back to Robert Garcia. I mean, it's
Yeah,
just iron sharpens iron. Whatever's going to get you over that hump.
for sure. And you got to be realistic at the same time. It's like, man, like there's moments in fights that you've never had the experience. Like you're coaching your son. Like this is probably your first time coaching. Like you started coaching your son, and then you grew up as a coach, and your son grew up as a fighter in the same. And yeah, so you guys are pretty much at the same level. Like you're not above him because you guys started together. And so there's certain
Yeah,
things like you have to go and you have to go and get information. You have to learn as well. So you're teaching your son, you're coaching your son, but who's coaching you to be a coach? Like you have to learn as well. You have to adapt skills and be able to coach and be able to think on the fly, to be able to come up with game plans, A, B, C, and D, all these stuff. And so you have to go out there and talk to coaches. You have to go out and bring people in so you can see another coach coaching and like, okay, I like that. Like, let me take that in and let me adapt. Let me like change it up a little bit so it fits my style. But you have to pick up new things, right? Like you can't invent a
and
rock. You can't invent a rocket without people inventing fire or fuel, so you can't just go jump straight to C when A and B never been invented. So you have to learn these things as well, right?
No, exactly. And the thing is, you have to adapt. You know,
Yeah,
you can show your son how to hit a heavy bag and how to hit a speed bag and a cobra bag and all these other things and how to throw a punch and
yeah,
have great footwork, man. But you know what happens when you go up against a taller fighter or somebody you say that's a southpaw? Where do you put your foot placement? How do you angle in? How do you angle out when you're fighting this guy? How do you make him fight your fight and you not have to adapt to fighting that fighter's fight? What are you gonna do then? You know,
yeah,
where are you gonna place your foot? How are you gonna make him circle? You're gonna make him circle to your strong side. You're gonna make him circle to your weak side. What is his punch? Is his punch a hook? Does he throw uppercuts? Does he lead with his jab? There's so many things that you have to learn and at the same time keep your son focused, you know, because
yeah,
at the end of the day, you know, he a kid's still your son in there, you know,
yeah,
and you always want the best and you always have that. Not I'm not going to say with all the coaches, but a lot of times those fathers have that. They have that tunnel vision that, nah, they ain't going to be my kid.
yeah,
Well, there's always somebody bigger and badder out there, you know. There's always
yeah,
somebody bigger and badder out there, you know. So, you know, take it with a grain of salt, you know, but he definitely, going back to it, they've got to have a plan. They got to have
yeah,
a plan A, a plan
yeah.
B, and a plan C. What if
And you got to be able to come up with okay, A's not working, but look, we're not going to use plan B or C. Let's do this instead. Because
let's go this?
you got to be watching the fight, right? You can't just be like
Mhm.
looking at the fight. You got to be watching the fight, and that's what you're there for. You're the coach. You're the trainer. You're the father. Like you're looking at the fight, and you're like, man, look at you keep running into Shakur's jab. Like, how about
Yeah,
you feint? How about you? How we need some feints. We need some movement. Stop rushing in. How about you feint and then double the jab up, or throw a jab then feint, or like step to the side when you after you jab. Like there's different things he could have done in there instead of just going straight in and getting hit with the jab all night. Like there was no
yeah,
adjustments, and you have to be able to watch that and also make adjustments on the fly. Like look at it. Okay, look, you're doing this, don't do that no more. Do this instead, and or do this and this and this. Like so,
like, you know. Okay,
yeah,
so here's the thing, like with Teofimo, right? So say he uses his angles, he uses his speed, the body work. He's better technically.
hmm,
So he gets in there and he starts trying to do that, but Rolly's countering him.
yeah,
Rolly he's stopping him in his tracks, dead in his tracks, and maybe even hurts him or stuns him with that counter, and he can't get in.
yeah,
Right? What's he gonna do? Is he gonna now not try to box his way in so he doesn't get countered, wait to get in the inside and bang with Rolly, but then he bangs and Rolly realizes it's not gonna hurt me, and then he cracks him, and now he's getting hurt banging on the inside. So now plan A, going in, I'm going in and I'm trying to box and I'm getting countered, doesn't work. Plan B is let's sit there and bang with them, see if I can take them out. You're not hurting them. Now Rolly's
yeah,
starting to hurt you. Plan B is not working. So plan C has to be, all right, sit back, let Rolly come to me and see if my timing, you know, he's let him come and try to hurt me. Let me get on my back foot and then counter his timing and box, you know, and and counter
yeah,
punch and fight defensively all night. Like he's got, and his dad has got to notice what's going on in that ring
hmm,
and tell him what adjustments to make. He just
yeah.
can't, and like I said, man, he just can't fucking yell at him, bro. He just can't
No,
go in there yelling at his son, you know, and
because
no
you got to think
knock,
about
no
it.
knock to
Yeah,
where
no,
they've been at and
yeah,
where they're at now,
yeah,
because he's an elite fighter. But the thing is, when you're fighting another elite fighter, that coaching's there. Those
yeah,
tactics are there. That knowledge is there. They're up there for a reason. Your opponent, you're fighting that opponent, and he's up there for a reason, the same reason
yeah,
you are, because you guys are both, you know, top-notch fighters, you know, and that's where it comes down to what you're learning in camp. That's when it,
yeah.
because in the ring, yeah, you're gonna make the adjustments in the ring, but you better know how to do that before you get into that ring. Like
Yep.
you said, come up with the plan A, come up with the plan B, come up with the, you got to have a plan and you got to be able to adapt. You got to be able to
Yeah.
adjust. And it happens before the fight. So you
Yeah.
got to know, hey man, this ain't working. Let's
Yes.
try this. Man, shit, this ain't working. All right. This is our last resort now. We got to make
Mm-hmm.
it work. We got to figure it out.
Yep.
You can't come in because you're getting countered. When
And
you're in
and
there, he's
yeah.
too strong for you, and he's getting off just as much. All right, plan C. This is it, man. Sit on our back foot. Try to box him. Try to counter. Fight defensively and score points when he's trying to come in. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you got it. or whatever the case may be. And
And
it's
the big
chess,
thing
not
too
checkers.
no, yeah, and the big thing too is he has to remember like that he's his dad, right? Like when you start to yell at your son, that can have a negative effect, right? That can revert him back to man, fuck this guy. Like he's just yelling at me for no reason. Like you get that father son relationship. Like I coach my son, yeah. Like I coach my son for baseball. He's 6. I have to watch how I talk to him because as soon as you start yelling at them, they start to get sensitive or they start to feel a different way, and then they
I don't
shut it
want to
off.
play.
I
Yeah.
don't want to play no more. Oh, it's not fun. Like they shut it off. There's a switch, and I don't care how old you are. I mean, as soon as like they start raising your voice, like you go back to that kid mindset. Like man, like he's not like you're not even helping me, man. Fuck, like forget it. Like and then you just turn that switch off, and then you don't listen to anything at all anymore. And
Yeah.
so now you're just in the ring by yourself. Like you just have some guy yelling at you, and you don't even pay attention to him. You just go sit down, and you're just going through the motions now, and that's not good. Especially when you're going up against like a Rolly Romero, like someone that has that power and someone that can put your lights out. Like that can't happen. Like you have to be your dad, the corner, the trainer has to be calm. And that's not even just because that's his dad. That's his trainer. If the trainer is frustrated, the fighter is going to be frustrated. And you have to relay the information in a calm but direct manner. And you have to like, hey, bro, listen, look at me right now. Pay attention to what the fuck I'm saying. You got to do this and this because every time you step in, he's countering you and he's stopping you. So hey, look it. How about you throw some feint, make him react. Throw the jab, but don't throw it hard. Like just throw it out there and feint him, and let him react, and then you can counter, and then you can move in. Okay, all right, cool, I got it. Let's do that because
Yeah.
you're showing him the problem, and then you're giving him answers, and you're giving him not just one way to do it. You're giving him multiple ways to do it. Like, hey, all right. So every time you move in, he's countering you, and he's countering with that left. So let's feint so he can throw that left, and then when that left is out there, then you can slip under that left. You can move in. You can double the jab up. Now you can move in. We need him to react, and then once he reacts, then that's your way to get in. So you're giving him different options. You're giving him the problem so he can see it now, and then you're giving him a clear picture, and then now a clear path on how to solve the problem and what's going on. And just
And
yelling and all
again,
that shit is not working, man.
yeah.
That's
And what you're saying, right? It's good, right? It's perfect to the T. And this is why you do it in camp, right? Because
mm-hmm.
then if me and you are talking about this in camp, and and you're my dad and you're training me and you're telling me this stuff in camp, and you got to tell me like, son, you got to be able to switch. And when I say, okay, like it's not working, we're gonna go with this feint. And when I tell you we're gonna go with this feint, you know what to do. Okay,
Yeah,
because plan A is not working. This is what we're gonna do. Because in that corner, you got a minute. You got
yeah,
1 minute, man, in between rounds to just say.
yeah.
So he's got to be able to tell him and not yell at him. You got to
Mm-hmm.
get off. You got to hit this guy. Blah blah blah. Okay, this is
Yeah,
what you're gonna do.
I,
You're
I
gonna
know
you're gonna
that.
double up. You're gonna double up that
Yeah,
feint, and
yeah.
let's go. And man, you've been around boxing enough, But to me, the other important part is just as focused as the fighter is on that fight, and being 100% ready. Especially as the dad, I think he has to be 100% ready as well too.
Yeah,
You know, to guide him, and even leading up into the fight, man. Show up at the media day.
yeah,
Show up at the workout. Be there for your kid, man. Because if you're not, it's mental, man. It's
yeah,
mental. Like if that parent's not there, if there's something going on, man, like it's not it's not just my trainer, man. It's my dad. Like,
yeah.
and then when he's out there, he's drunk or this and that, and then you're at the press conference and you got people talking shit. Where's your punk ass dad at? Where's your
Mm-hmm.
drunk ass dad at? This It plays with you mentally, and we know
Yeah,
this game it's a lot more mental than it is physical sometimes.
yep.
I mean, if you're not in your right mind, you could be the best fighter, but if you're not there mentally, it
Mm-hmm.
could be a long night. It could be a
Yeah,
long night. I mean, and we've seen it before with Sandor Martin,
yep.
where Teofimo was questioning himself after the fight, like, man, do I still got it? Am
Yeah,
I still that person? Like, you shouldn't have to be questioning yourself or questioning what you learned in the gym or if it was going to get you to the fight. You know what I mean? Because you shouldn't have to worry about those things.
Yeah. And I get it. Everybody does have those moments, you know, and but those are moments where those are things that you go through because you're pushing yourself hard in training camp. You're doing things in training camp that making you question yourself. So those are battles. Those are battles that should have already been won are in training camp, you know, like, and that's one things like I talk about like on the podcast is like going through the mental struggles, you know, having to rebuild yourself, having to battle the demon in your mind, like the one that wants to make you quit, the one that
Yeah,
wants to tell you, hey, no, just chill for a little bit. All those battles should be won in training camp. And that mindset. So when those things come up again
exactly.
in the fight, because they're never gonna go away. Yeah, you can beat those battles 100 times, but it's all there. That's one fight that's never gonna go away. And so the more times you beat it, the easier it gets to beat it again. And when you're in the fight of your life, when you're in a situation where like all the lights are on you, it's just you and the opponent in the ring, and those things are coming up because hey, like I can't get in, like I'm jabbing, I'm feinting, but he's stopping me. What do I do? You look to your corner and they're just yelling at you, where's the power, bro? Where's this, where's that? And
Yeah,
like you get frustrated, so then you have that battle again. And you have to win those fights in the gym. You have to have those conversations in the
that's where it's
gym.
won at. Yeah,
And because once you're in that ring, like you can be like, man, like shut up, bro. Like you already been through it so much where those thoughts come in and they go right back out because you already had that. You already know. You already those situations have been constantly coming up because they're always going to come up, and you have to win them in the gym because in the moment you have no time to think about that. As soon as you start to think about, oh man, am I here? Like what's going on? I don't have it no more. You're in a fight, bro. Like you start to think about that, now you're losing, and then now you have to climb back, and it's downhill from there.
Shout out to Brooke, man,
Oh,
in the
Mighty
chat. She
Brook.
says, I think yeah, Mighty Brooke says, I think Broly has a
Yeah,
great chance to beat Theo. Yeah, and that's
that's what I'm
that's
saying.
exactly
Yeah,
what we're saying.
yeah,
There's a good chance. There's a good chance. You know, I don't know if you got the beginning, but you know, like
yeah,
we said, we don't know if his power is gonna carry. We don't know what type of training,
yeah,
if he's gonna have a A, B, or C. There's so many things that he may have to adapt to. You know, I think a lot more than Rolly has to. You know, Rolly has
yeah,
the size, he has the power, you know, so I know people are saying nah, you know, but Rolly doesn't. He's not carrying that.
yeah,
He's not carrying that power from 35. He
yeah,
hasn't shown that at 40, and I don't know if
yeah.
he's going to show it at 47. And if Rolly can walk through Theo's punches, he's going to
Hmm.
really try to get in there and bang. You know,
Yeah.
and we're not going to start to chat over on what we think, but yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
we got a lot of
Just
stuff to talk about, but there's a good
yeah,
chance.
yeah. So just to like summarize everything, right? Because there's Mighty Brook, Shadow Mighty Brook. She has Broly. I'm leaning slightly towards Broly. I just feel like there's something there. He's been improving. I feel like he's in the gym right now, but he's been working, and I don't think he's just been this whole time off. He's been not been doing nothing, and then it's just Teofimo should beat him on paper. He comes in and he does everything that he has, all his attributes. He should win. He's the more technical. He's the more sound boxer. He's the better boxer, right? But like Mike Tyson says, like your game plan goes out the window, you get punched in the face. And Rolly has that, right? He's gonna punch you in the face, you're gonna feel it, and it's gonna make you think something different. And he's very awkward, so the time at the first couple rounds are going to be where Teofimo needs to find that timing. He's going to need to move around a lot. He's going to need to feint. He's going to need to establish that jab so he can try to get the rhythm of the fight. And if Rolly comes out like he did against Ryan Garcia and he comes in throwing that left hook, doubling that left hook and just putting and kind of pushing the pace a little early, so it's hard for Teofimo to get the rhythm. And if his corner's not giving him solid advice, then that fight's going to be lost before it even starts. And
Yep.
that's what we're saying. Like there's certain things that have to happen in the beginning rounds so it can be a Teofimo Lopez fight. And if it don't happen right away, I think Rolly is just going to go ahead and gain momentum. And then he just has that power. And once Rolly gets super confident and he has that power, it's just going to be hard for something to happen on the Teofimo Lopez side.
All
Yeah,
right.
this we got
Let's go.
the
Next.
WBO the WB orders Dimitri Bivol versus Callum Smith. Man, I wasn't. I've been waiting for Callum Smith to get a shot because, especially what happened with the Cuban David Morrell. When
Yeah.
David Morrell was supposed to fight Callum Smith, that fight didn't happen. I think Smith got hurt, and then we seen Morrell get knocked out.
But, yeah, but Chile, yeah.
Yeah, we see Morrell get knocked out, and it was like, whoa. And I was really excited to see Smith and Morrell. I was like, man, and then I felt like the winner of that would fight a Bivol or Benavidez or something like that. Yeah, but I like this fight.
I like it too.
Yeah, I think Callum Smith deserves it. He's a dog. I just feel, man, it's just Bivol's just too. He's as perfect as a fighter can be, right? He goes in there and he's just very, very technical. He does the right things. He's super disciplined. He doesn't really make too many mistakes. Callum Smith needs to get him out of the element. Needs to turn it into a dog fight. It needs to be a little dirty, a little messy, and but yeah, it should be a really good fight.
Yeah, his Callum Smith's only 2 losses are to Benavidez and to Canelo. You know, but he is getting up there in age, and he needs to make. He's got this is. I'm not saying it's his last run, but it's damn near going to be his last run if he wants to try to become a champion again. So
Yeah.
But I do like the fight. Like you said, he is a dog. He's been in there with the best. He's beaten the best. You know, so let's see what happens, man.
Yeah, of course, Bevo's going to come in the favorite, but if he can make Bivol fight a fight and not a boxing match, that's that he has more of a chance if he's able to make Bivol fight. Because we've seen Bivol get in there and fight with Benavidez, it wasn't. They're really good fights, but it wasn't like a war. Like they're still in the pocket fighting, but it's still technical. Like they're still throwing they're technically throwing punches, right? It's not like you don't see them throwing haymakers or like clinching too much. I don't know. It's just like a war, and then there's a boxing match. And I felt like, those were really good fights, really good boxing matches against Bivol and Benavidez. But Callum Smith needs to make it a little dirty to have an advantage. But if he just sits there and tries to box with Bivol, it's gonna be a long night for him.
Yeah, he's got to get in there and try to bang with them. He's got to get in and, like you said, make it dirty. He's got to score some points on the inside. He just can't. It just can't be a straight boxing match because he'll get beat. Bivol's too technically sound. He has too much boxing knowledge for Smith. He's going to know what to do on the outside. And that's going to be Bivol's plan. He's going to stay outside. He's going to pop that jab. He's going to stay outside and try to box him. We already know that. That's what's going to happen. So he's going to have to, Smith's going to have to come in and really try to, like you said, muddy up the waters, Yeah.
So. For sure. Hey, so, I don't know if she's still in the chat, but Mighty Brooke is in if you're still in the chat, what's your thoughts on Lupita Medina and if she's been calling out Yokasa Valle? Let me know what's your thoughts, because I know I just found out you guys sparred a couple times. I didn't know you guys sparred. So if I would have known you guys were sparring when I had both of you on, I would have had a lot more questions regarding those sparring sessions. So if you're still in the chat, what are your thoughts on Lupita Medina calling out Yokasa Valle? Just throwing it out there if she's still in the chat.
Yeah.
And then what's next? Do you think that Fundora is ducking Boots because Boots? I guess Boots wants that fight, but Samson said that Fundora is going to go after his next fight is going to be
mandatory.
After the mandatory. Do you think that's a duck, or?
I don't necessarily think it's a duck. I think it's it's hard to say. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like it's a payday for him. it's a lot lower risk than fighting Boots. You know, this
Yeah.
guy, like you said, every fighter has a chance, but it's like I don't know. You know, I don't. I'm not gonna say duck. Maybe it's just waiting to marinate the fight a little bit longer. You know, I mean, let's
Yeah.
do it next year. Let's make a little bit more money. Let's let's Boots heal and get ready and let me take this fight and then next year we'll do it. You know, I don't know. Like I said, I don't think it's necessarily a duck. You know,
Yeah,
I
because
mean,
like, yeah, not taking a fight doesn't automatically mean you're ducking, right? It doesn't
no,
automatically mean it.
because that the WBC they could have already been. You know, Samson could have already been in negotiations with the WBC and with this challenger
Yeah.
as a champion going in voluntary defense against the WBC mandatory 75-25 on a payday.
Hmm.
They're not gonna have to iron out anything between like him and Boots. Okay, well I'm a unified champion. You're the WBC champion. Oh, we want the fight there. I want the fight there. I want so much of the beer. I want so much of that. Blah blah blah. No,
Yeah.
here I'm the A side. I'm getting 75%. I'm gonna defend my title, and let's do it. You know, I mean, so there's I think they maybe had already been in negotiations for this fight, and it's a lot easier to make. Let's just get it over with. Then we'll sit down after this fight, and then maybe at the beginning of next year or at the end of the year, we can set up a big fight, you know, and
Yeah.
then we can sit down and talk it out because, I mean, I've seen it with people like Jose Ramirez, for instance, where a fight has fallen off or they thought they were going to get a fight, they didn't get the fight, um, they lose that payday. Now they're on the shelf for another 4 to 8 weeks waiting for the new fight because something happens. Then they're in camp. They've overtrained. Instead of being an 8 week camp, they're in a 12 week camp, and then they get hurt in training, and then they get pushed back again. You know, so it just
Yeah.
several things. There's a lot of moving parts that we don't see. It's
Yep.
easy to say that a fighter's ducking somebody, but again, like I was explaining last week, there's a lot of different a lot of different things that have to come into play to make the fights happen.
For
And if
sure.
they were already in negotiations and hey, this fight's easy at
Mm.
75-25, there's no negotiations for the pay. There's no negotiations for the gate. There's no negotiations for a cut of the pay-per-view. Who's
Hmm.
it going to be streamed on? You know, is PBC going to join up with the zone again, this and that, which they are going to. But I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot
Once the
of
prime deal goes away.
once the prime's done, they're coming to the zone. You know, I said it
Mhm.
last week, and we see it
Yeah.
again. The Saturday night fight with this, it's the zone and prime together for Rolly
Yeah.
and Teofimo. But yeah, like when you have so many things, this is another unified title fight. Like if Fundora and Boots were to get at it, I mean, there's gonna it's just a lot to try to get done
Yeah.
right away, especially if something's lined up. So yeah, no, I don't think he's ducking.
No, because in order for someone to duck somebody, it has to be multiple. I feel like it has to be multiple times they try to make a fight. Or so say Fundora fights his mandatory, and then the next fight, Fundora fights somebody else. And then the next fight, they're both available, but Fundora goes somewhere else. Okay, then we can start talking about, oh, hey, Fundora's ducking Boots. Like
Yeah.
when if Fundora fights his mandatory, and then Boots waits, and after that mandatory, they're both available, and then Fundora goes somewhere else. He fights another not like somebody else that's not a big name or not a champion.
Like
Okay, then maybe. But if he
good.
goes and fights Virgil Ortiz, if Fundora fights Virgil Ortiz after this mandatory, I wouldn't say he's ducking Boots. Right? He's going to a
No,
tough fight. He's going to a tough fight. But if he goes and fights the number 3 rank WBC
yeah.
guy instead of fighting Boots or fighting a Virgil or fighting a Josh Kelly,
Yeah, he goes and fights
then
Elijah Garcia.
yeah, then you're like, okay,
Garcia's 7, and now he's fighting Elijah. And so, like,
yeah,
where did this guy come from? Like, and again, no knock on Elijah Garcia, but like, he's
yeah,
not who the public wants to see. He's not the top of the top. He's not
yeah,
making the best versus the best.
yeah.
Then you can say it.
Then you can be like, okay, I don't
Because
know, it might be a full duck yet, but the egg's about to hatch. Like
right, like,
okay,
and even with like the managerial side, right?
yeah,
People want to say, "Oh, that we're ducking around," but I can guarantee you that no Virgil Ortiz fan will ever say, "Oh, well, he dug boots," especially if
Yeah,
you're an Ortiz fan, a Virgil fan.
yeah.
Well, he ducked them. The contract was there. They didn't want it. They didn't want to take the fight.
Hmm.
And then you look at everything. Oh well, he was only offered this much money. The manager wanted this, and that's what I'm talking about. You know, and I'm not going
Yeah,
to get into it, but I mean, if you look at the background of that, for instance, right?
yeah. Let's get into it. Let's get into it.
All right. Well, the fight was offered to him,
Yeah.
and he was offered his contract minimum. He was offered the contract minimum, and you go into that contract, and this is what the lawsuits and everything were about. You know, you start talking about it. His contract minimums were 10 million.
Yeah.
And even though Turkey and them, you know, were notorious for paying these huge paydays, I think, and this is my opinion. These aren't
Yeah.
facts. The only fact I threw out there was his minimum was of 10 million. Was that there was other parties, including his manager, involved that felt they could get him more money. And that's not ducking. So when you say no, I'm gonna hold back. I want more. I want more. I want more. I want more. You know, and then what happens? The fight falls through. Boots goes a different direction. Doesn't want to fight now. Whatever the case may be, take somebody else on that we don't like, right? But say the contract was offered, they didn't sign it. That's not a duck. It's
Yeah.
business, you know. And then, so real quick, go to Mighty Brook. I believe that it's
Yeah.
normal for up and comers to reach the top of the food chain, but they have to be tested and be willing to get tested by someone at the top or ranked fighters before that happens. No, you know what, man? I agree. There's
Yeah.
levels
Yeah.
to this shit, man. You just,
Yeah.
you know, like what was in the Fast and the Furious, man. You just can't jump in the ring while
Eh,
I'll lead. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
like
Yep.
there's there's levels to this shit now, and you have to earn it. You have to
Yeah.
earn it. You know, to me, you got to earn your spot. I think it's different when you're somebody like a Vasily Lomachenko, right? That was had 500 amateur fights, who was just everybody was waiting to turn pro. He
Yeah.
gets in there and then he wins a world title in his third fight. You know, when you're special and everybody knows about you and you're just that damn good, I think that's a
Yeah.
different story. But when you're just a normal fighter coming up, you know, you gotta earn your bones. You gotta earn
Yeah.
your bones. Get in there against some people. Get in, you know, you're at that weight, man. Get in there and fight somebody. You know, I mean,
Yep.
Gloria Munguia, for instance, right? Her and Brooke went back and forth a
Yeah.
couple of times. You
Yeah.
know, Lupita, get in there with Gloria. You
Yeah.
know, you call him not a world champion right away, but like
Yeah.
there's fighters in that division that can give you hell. You know what I mean? It's not like the heavyweight division where you're Clarissa Shields and you're fighting somebody that only has 7 fights and that's 42 years old because
Yeah.
there's only 7 people ranked in the top 10, 7 in the top 10. Like, come on, man. Like at
Yeah.
115 pounds, 108 pounds in women's boxing, 112 pounds, 105 pounds, whatever.
There's
I think what's Yoke at 105, 108, you know, like
105.
105. Like there's
Yeah.
people there that will give you
Yeah.
hell.
Yeah. There's dancing
So
partners. Like, yeah,
there's
there's dancing
dancing
partners.
partners, and you gotta earn that spot. You know, you gotta earn that spot. You gotta get in there, and you gotta fight tough competition, and you gotta earn where you're at. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, Brooke went through hell with both fights with Munguia, with Gloria. She went
Yeah.
through hell, and she earned that, man. She earned that title. She earned
Yep.
that spot because she didn't back down.
Yeah.
She took it. She was offered it. She took the fight. She fought. Nobody knows who, like, and no knock on Gloria. She's not a
Yeah.
household name,
No.
right? She's
We
not a
we know
household
who
name.
she is, right? We know who
We
she
know
is,
who
but
she is.
she's not like, yeah, it's different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
You
not
have to
like
watch
Brooke was
boxing
saying,
to
it's not
really
like
know.
Brooke was saying, oh, I want to fight the champion, or no, I don't want to fight her because she's too
Yeah.
tough and I'd rather make all this money fighting this. I can guarantee you, like, Brooke made peanuts on both fights. Seriously.
Yeah.
Like, but had enough intestinal fortitude. I ain't gonna say balls because she hit the
Yeah.
ball. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
I mean, she's a woman,
Enough
but
heart. Enough heart.
she had
Enough
enough
heart.
courage to get in there
Yeah.
and take
Courage.
these fights, man. Like, come on, like, and
Yeah.
that's the thing. Like, Lupita, you gotta earn it. Get in there and fight, and you
Yeah.
gotta earn it because she's had some tough fights
She
on
has.
360
Yeah.
with lower level fighters.
Yeah.
So it's not just, oh, get me in there. It's like, you know, I mean, that's borderline clout chasing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
borderline clout chasing. And
Yeah.
maybe she is able to beat Yoka. I'm not saying that she's not. Maybe she is able to beat Yoka,
Yeah.
but why, in fairness, Why skip over these fighters that have already been making a name for themselves or had worked their
Hmm.
way up the ranks when you haven't,
Yeah.
there's still levels, you know.
Yeah.
If I'm Yoka, if it
If
makes
I'm
money, it makes sense, I
if
guess.
I
But I
well no
mean,
if I'm Yoka, I'm not even paying attention to it right now. Like I'm on
yeah,
like you just signed to MVP. Like relax. Like that's how, if I'm the champion, that's how I'm looking at it. You just signed to MVP, and I know they've sparred before, right? So that's the reason they have like history. So you get signed, you're the newcomer. All right, I'm gonna call it the champion. Like she's ranked what 2 or 3, but she's not ranked in the WBC where Yoka is. So she's ranked everywhere else, but not the WBC. And that's the
yeah.
fight she's calling. She's calling for a fight where she's not even ranked yet in the WBC. And so I get it. That's something you got to do. Like you're the new puppy that just signed to MVP. You're gonna call it the champion because you had some history. I get it. Keeps your name. It keeps your name moving, circulating.
Yeah.
But if you're calling out the champion, whatever fight that MVP gives you, you need to accept it. Like you can't just be like, nah, I want this one. No, because you want the champion. If you want the champion, we're giving you this person. You fight this person, maybe we give you the champ next. You have to put on a performance. So that you take this, whatever fight it is, top 3, what like you fight this one. If you put on the performance worthy of fighting the champion, then maybe you get the fight. Maybe you get the champion next because you're gonna be. It's gonna be your test. Like you're coming to us. You want this? Cool. Take this
What
one.
pop, what popped in my head, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not comparing the two. I'm not comparing Yoka and Canelo. But what
Yeah.
popped in my head right now, I kept hearing Canelo's voice. Man, you fight nobody, man. Get the fuck out of
Yeah.
here before I'm gonna fuck you up, man. Like,
Yeah.
and then and then you get
Yeah.
Andrade,
Yeah. Yeah.
he
Yeah.
goes in there against somebody else and gets beat.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
Mighty Brooks
Yeah,
says keeps the name
keep some
relevant. Yeah, for sure. Like it's
for
you
sure.
gotta and you gotta play the game, right? You gotta like
You got to
play
play
the
the
game.
game,
Yeah, and that's
and maybe she
going
was
you.
told. Maybe she was told to do it. Call her out. I mean,
Yeah.
it does. Whether
Yeah.
you keep who's this? Who's it? Let me look up Lupita. Let me
Yeah.
let me find out who she is. Oh, let me look her up. Oh, okay. Okay, okay. And then she gets a new follower, this or that, whatever. Yeah. It says
Mighty
I came
Brooks.
in
Yeah.
and I
Go ahead.
asked for a former unified, hoping to get the fight, but I'm still on my way though.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're doing it the right way, bro. I mean, you're doing it the right way. You've made the right connections. A lot of people love you. Like, I've heard nothing but great things about you. I've seen her train myself. I've seen Brooke
Yeah.
train out in San Bernardino and watched her. I know her and her husband. I
Yeah.
know she's got tight. The WBC loves her.
Yeah.
The Champions for Mental Health loves
If
her. Like,
if you haven't watched it, we have our episode with I have an episode with Mighty Brooke on the podcast. So after, go check it out. She has the personality. She has the heart. Like she works. We've talked about this on the pod. Like I don't know her
yeah,
personally, but we've had the conversation on the pod, and you know me, like I try to get a little bit deep, so I try to like figure. And from our conversations, she has the heart. She's willing. She's very self-aware of herself as well. Like from when I came out of the conversation, she's very self-aware of herself, and she knows what needs to be fixed, what works for her, what doesn't, and she's constantly getting better. And that's with that type of mindset, you're gonna get where you're gonna go. You're gonna get where you want to go. Being self-aware, always constantly working, always trying to challenge yourself. And that's how you get better, and that's how you reach the next level. And she from what I've seen and what I've known, the fights that I've seen, the conversations I had, like she's gonna get there for sure.
oh yeah, definitely,
Yeah,
definitely. All right. What do
yeah.
we got next?
And next we open. So
It's open. All right. Um,
open.
couple of things. Couple of things for fighters. You watching live, or if you come back and watch this episode later on, for any fighters that want any type of therapy, mental health therapy, and you guys want to sit down and talk about things, there is mental health available through Supreme Boxing and through Melissa K. Garcia. She's a licensed therapist. So we're just a phone call away, a DM away, man. DM us, let us know you need some therapy or whatnot. But
Uh-oh.
also, if you're,
My
she's coming
bro,
down to 105 moving
coming down
forward.
to coming down to 105 moving forward. Is that because you possibly want the Lupita Medina fight? Is that what you're looking for coming down to 105? Because I know you guys sparred each other. You guys had sparring previously. So
Hey,
is that something you're looking at trying to go and get, or what's the reason for 105? If you're
yeah,
willing to let us know.
yeah, to let us know.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, but with that being said, also, Supreme Boxing is starting a new episode on our YouTube channel, which we're not big in our YouTube. We
yeah.
do the things that we do not for clicks and not to get paid through YouTube or anything. I mean, we're more of a media company, more of a marketing company. We help fighters do marketing and promos for fighters. But we do have a new series coming out where fighters sit down and they allow themselves to be filmed during their therapy sessions and talk about prior stuff. And it's not every therapy session. It's the first one to why they're there and how they got into this therapy. And the first episode is gonna air July 15th, and it's with no, I'm sorry, July 13th, and it's with Gonzalez, Albert Gonzalez, Chop Chop Gonzalez,
Chop chop.
and he's gonna go in and he's gonna talk a little bit about his story and what almost killed him mentally. When his younger brother Danny was shot and killed during a
Yeah,
drive-by. Um, we do have the clips out on Supreme Boxing. I'll forward you the clip as well, so if you want to post it or
yeah,
collab with you.
yeah.
But
Collab
if
with
there's
me.
fighters out there that are willing to do this, come on and be
I
part of
love
the show
this.
and do that, man. You do it, you talk a little bit about it, and then after that, after the first episode or whatever, of course it becomes private. And what you and the
Yeah.
therapist talk about are between you and yourselves. But you know what? It allows your story to be told and you able to get that help.
Yeah.
A lot of fighters have a lot of built up anger in them. A lot of them have a lot of frustrations, angers, whether it's having to work and having to see a counterpart that has a silver spoon in his mouth and not using that to the best of their abilities because they're out
Hmm.
fucking around or doing whatever, drinking, partying, doing whatever. Well, I'm sitting here trying to be the best I can and I'm grinding and I'm
Yeah.
working and this kid's still getting every opportunity. I mean, there's so many things, that's just
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
one for instance.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you guys are interested, if there's fighters interested, contact Supreme Boxing, contact Nancy Rodriguez, and contact or Melissa K. Garcia, and we'll point you in the right direction to get you on there. And
Yeah.
even if you don't want to be part of that where you're filmed and you don't want your story out there, that's completely fine because the mental health and the
Mm,
therapy's still there for you, man.
for sure.
The therapy's still there for
Yeah.
you. So
And before I comment on this, Mighty
yeah.
Brooks says she wants I want them all coming for all the belts. She said she had a win streak run with KOs at 105, went up to 108 to get that WBC international title.
International
Okay,
title.
so coming back down to 105, pretty much coming back home. I see it. I like it. I
Yeah.
like it, man. And but to talk about the mental health thing, I like it. Like I like it. I'm on board. So whatever you need from me, I'm down for it. I have I talk about it a little bit on on my episodes when I have the podcast for with my guests, and I had reached out to Melissa to say that I think we could have a good episode because I touch on it a lot. Like I've dealt with it. I still deal with it. I still deal with PTSD. I still deal with my stuff, and it's something that's like that's ongoing. It's never gonna go away. And so I talk about it, and I try to compare my mindset with fighters. So I let because it's similar stuff, right? It's similar things. It's
Yeah.
not exactly the same. I've seen a lot of different stuff than what fighters do, but it's the mental aspect of getting over losses, losing. You feel that survivor's remorse, or you feel the imposter syndrome, where you feel like, man, like growing up you made it, these other people didn't make it, and now you can be the world champion and you're making this money, and then you feel like that imposter syndrome where you feel like, man, like why am I here? Or survivor's guilt is is a real thing where you feel
Yeah,
like you
no,
like
it is, man.
yeah, like why did I make it? Like what's so special about me? Why did I get to do this? And like sometimes that messes with your head. And why am I still here? Why couldn't they be with their family? And why do I get to
Yeah.
enjoy my kids? Why do I get to do these things? And like that's something that's very present
Oh man, it's
in a
yeah,
lot of
yeah. You
us.
know, I mean, yeah, for me, it was the same thing. You know, that survivor's guilt. I kept thinking God should have took me instead of my
Yeah,
wife.
yeah,
You know, like why am I here?
yeah,
She held the family together. She did everything, not me.
hmm
Like she was glue with my grandson. You know, like
yeah,
it's just like so people go through it, man. People go through
yeah,
it, and mental health and talking to somebody, man. That's the best thing you can do, man. That's the
yeah,
best thing you can do, man. I never thought I'd have to do it, man. I never thought like, oh, yeah, I
yeah,
don't need that shit. I don't need to talk to nobody. I would always think, oh, depression, anxiety. Oh, come on. Oh, that's just a fad. You know, that's
yeah.
just
No, it's
oh,
real.
somebody sees it. It's real. It's real
Yeah.
shit, man. Like it
I
happens, man.
fought
It
it
eats
for a
you.
long time. I fought it for a long time. I fought it for a
It
long
eats you
time.
alive, man. And
Yeah.
to this day, I still go through shit. You know, to this day, I
Yeah.
still talk to somebody. So like, nah, man,
Yeah.
it's real. So if there's people out there, like we do have that available, free mental health, free counseling. And like I said, there is an opportunity to tell your story if you like. You don't have to.
Yeah.
Don't feel obligated or feel like, well, I want to do it, but they're gonna want me to tell my story. No, no, no. We're never gonna force you to tell your story.
Yeah.
That whatever happens is between you and the therapist. She's licensed. There's HIPAA rules. Like that stays between you and her. She's licensed.
Yeah.
That it's if you want to come out and tell your story, then you're more than welcome to let your story get out there. Then afterwards, all the therapy sessions are that's between you guys. That's behind closed doors, and that's between you and the doctor. It's between
Yeah.
you and Melissa. So it is there. And like I said, don't feel pressured. Like, oh well, Supreme wants to help, but they want me to. No, we're not saying we want you. We're saying it's available.
It's
If
available.
you
Yeah.
want
It's an
to, it's
option.
there. There's
Yeah.
an
It's a
option there.
hmm
There's an option there. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And who knows,
So
man? Like you might want to do it just to do it and to get some promo. But then after that
yeah.
conversation, you might think like, damn, like you're gonna see a whole different thing. Like being able to talk about certain things, you there's gonna be a weight that's lifted off your shoulder that you didn't even know that was there, and it opens up your mind. It frees your body, and lots of times people start to get sick, and like they don't understand why they're getting sick, and it's because they're holding all this stuff in them.
Yeah.
When your mind is not right, your body is not right, and so you have to have both on the same level. And that's something that I learned. Like I learned because I fought it for so long, coming home, and they're like, yeah, like you have PTSD. I'm like, no, I don't. Like, no, I don't. I'm a Marine. Like, man, that's just something that I signed up for this shit. Like that's just part of being a Marine. That's just part of doing what I had to do. Like I don't have that shit. Nah. I was like negative connotation like associated with that. Like man, like I ain't no pussy. Like I don't have that shit. And like I fought it
Yeah.
for so long. Like I fought it for so long. And it's like, and then like you start to like my girl got pregnant. I start to have kids. I start to see certain things. Then you start to like become self-aware of certain situations. I start to see things like, man, like why am I snapping like this? Like why do I do this like that? Like what I like, and you try to think about it, and then you know what? Like eventually, I get pushed. My wife pushed me, and I went to go. I started doing therapy. I started for the PTSD. I started talking about certain things. It took me a while to open up, and then when she started talking, like when she started get the ball rolling, like everything starts to come out, and it becomes way easier. And then you start to feel like, man,
Yeah.
like okay, I get it. Like I understand. Like I understand this. And then like you start to talk. Like I never really knew what survivor's guilt was until I started talking to somebody. And so I started started like going more in depth in certain situations, like certain dreams, certain moments, certain situations that I have, and like then you're like, oh shit, like, and she's like, yeah, like survivor's guilt is. I'm like, oh, that's what it's called. Oh,
Yeah.
like yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it really is, and then when you're talking to somebody, it's a lot different than like with the homeboys, or it's a lot different than anybody else because I had friends that would tell me, "Oh, don't worry, I'll be there for you," whatever, and then
Yeah.
You call them up and say, for instance, like one time I remember I called up a homeboy and I'm gonna just switch the story a little bit. That way he don't know who it is. But
Yeah.
I called up one time and they're like, oh, we're gonna go to a softball game with my daughter. And we're
Yeah.
gonna do this, we're gonna do that, right? When I needed somebody to talk to, right? But at that time, I didn't want to feel like I was interceding into their family life. You know, they got their own family, they're doing their
Yeah.
own thing, no matter how much. And then you call another homie, and it's like, oh yeah, don't trip, bro. We'll just get a beer, smoke a fucking, we'll roll a blunt. You'll be fine, fool. Don't worry about it. Like
Yeah.
that doesn't take it away. That does
Yeah.
like
No.
a
No.
blunt, smoking a blunt or drinking a 40. Don't take
Yeah.
that shit away, man. Like,
Nah.
and there's even things that like I have a girlfriend now, but there's even things like I can't open up to her about. You know, like I can't not talk to her about certain things. You know, there's
Yeah.
certain things that like I just won't because it's not it's a lot easier to do it like you said once you get in with
Mm.
a therapist and you start talking to them, you know, it becomes easier.
Mm-hmm.
And like for me, they have a tool. You know, I have a toolbox. It says get your toolbox out. So we're gonna add in your toolbox. This is how you're gonna fix it.
Yeah.
All right. And remember, something breaks in you, go to your toolbox. How do you fix it, man? If I'm not
Yeah.
able to call you right away, how you gonna fix this? How you gonna keep it? You know, because like she just told me, you know, you bottled it up. You're like a powder keg ready to explode, right? Like
Yep.
it's building up, it's building up, it's building up, and then it may be your wife, it may be someone you love, you know, maybe whatever, and then boom, you know, and then that explosion happens, and now you're fucked. Now you're just fucked from your PTSD, from your depression, from your anxiety, whatever you're fighting, and now
Yeah.
you got even bigger problems because your wife's leaving you, your kids are this, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Like you got to learn to get it out, man. You got to learn to get it
Yep.
out there. Like if because drinking ain't gonna take it away, smoking weed ain't gonna take it away.
Nah, it makes
Like
it worse because it just holds
it
it
makes
down, it pushes it down,
it
pushes it
just
down,
yeah.
and then eventually there's no more, you can't push it down anymore, and that shit just comes
Nah.
out.
And then you're fucking pendejo. You know, like
Yeah.
fucking you're stoned all the time.
Yeah.
You're drunk all the time. Your fucking
Mm-hmm.
liver's going out on you now. Like your wife don't want you no more because now
Yeah.
you're just a fucking drunk that don't want to do nothing or
Yeah.
marijuana that you know like is that how you're
Yeah.
gonna do? Smoke weed all day? Like
That was
it
me.
happens, bro.
That
Like
was me when I first came home.
it's like a
Yeah.
snowball, man. It's a snowball
Man.
effect, man.
Yeah. When I first came home,
Yeah.
like I'll go through like a 30 pack a day in a day, and I would smoke like a half an ounce in like 3 days. I was going to school and shit. I was like still functioning, but it was just like
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to function if I didn't drink or smoke because I was just like my senses were so heightened. I was so on high alert all the time that I needed something to bring me down so I can feel normal. Like that was my mindset. I was always like what's going on or who's that person? Hey, what's moving over there? And I was going to school at the time,
Yeah.
so it was even worse. Like so many people around in class and all this stuff. So I would get home, crack a beer, smoke a blunt. I wake up in the morning, smoke a blunt. Drive to school, smoke a blunt. Park car, smoke a blunt. In between classes, smoke a blunt. Get home, drink a
Yeah.
beer, and smoke. And that was just for me to feel like, for my senses, I was so overwhelmed with like everything going on that there's constantly people moving, walking behind me over there, these loud noises, like talking, like, and I'm like, I can't hear shit because people are talking, and I need to know what's going on. I need to know like I was always had to have situational awareness. Like that's something that's
Yeah.
I still have it today, but I'm able to
More mellow. Yeah.
yeah, more mellow now. I haven't smoked weed in like 7 years, and so but yeah, I was smoking a lot.
Yeah.
Just and that was just for me to feel normal, like for me to feel like calm, like
Like
yeah, like that shit don't bother me right now.
I pretty much stopped a couple years ago. Like I'll hit a blunt every now and then.
Yeah,
Um, once in a while I'll take a gummy. You know, I'll take a edible, whatever. But it's
yeah,
more like after a long week or whatever, and I want to knock out. I get that
yeah,
body high from the edible,
yeah,
and not even to get fucked up, just to fucking okay, go to sleep, and I wake up the next morning,
yeah,
eat good, you know, and
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
straight. You know, it's not because I'm trying to hide anything anymore, whatever, but it's just more
yeah,
for more for relaxation.
yeah,
Because I've tried melatonin and shit like
Oh,
that.
that's
And
yeah, but that's
it's
just not even good
it's
for you. Melatonin is not
nah,
even good for you. It's a because your body produces natural melatonin. So when you
yeah,
take melatonin, it suppresses your body's natural melatonin. And so that's why when you wake up, you're all fucked up. You feel like you feel more
yeah,
tired than you actually. So melatonin is not really good because it's like it's suppressing your natural production of melatonin. So when you stop taking it, your body's natural melatonin is not producing the same anymore. So then
yeah,
that's why your body's all out of whack. So
yeah.
that's just not
Yeah,
that's
that's what
just not
happened to me. So it's just like,
yeah.
yeah, now it's just like whatever, I just and it's few and far between, what I mean?
No.
And like I said,
Yeah.
it's relaxation shit, what I mean? But no, man. But yeah, like I said, back to it, man. Fighters, let us know. Tap in.
Yes,
Tap in.
sir. Yeah, tap in. Let's do it, man.
Uh,
That's something big. Let me know
yeah,
if let me
yeah.
know
We'll
whatever
work
you
with you on
need.
it.
Yeah, let me know whatever you need. Like I'm down for that. I'm down to push
I'm
it. I'm
gonna
down to help out.
I'm gonna put you in the chat with Melissa Garcia too. After
Okay.
this, I'll put you in the chat with Melissa and with
Yeah.
Nancy introduce you and
Okay.
have her introduce herself and just say that you work in boxing, you've been through it too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We'd even have you on the show. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be a fighter, man. Put you on there
Yeah.
if you want to put your story out there.
Yeah.
Again, optional.
For sure.
You're not forced, man. This weekend, if you're in the LA area in Downing, man, we got the media workout going on for Diego Pacheco. Let me pull up the info. It's at a brand new gym in Downey, California. Um, Collections. The media day is gonna be at 12510 Columbia Way in the city of Downey. It's right behind the promenade. So if
Okay.
you're familiar with the Downey area where the Downey Promenade is, it's just south of there, like one block. Diego Pacheco is gonna have his media day there. Pantone's gonna be there, 294. They're the big
The
group that
Dodgers.
supports the Dodgers, the Dodger group, man. So if you're from LA, you know who they are. There's gonna be food, there's gonna be giveaways, we're gonna be giving tickets away to the fights, there's gonna be music, you're gonna be able to take photos and meet Diego. It's from 12 to 2. Media get there early.
Yep.
Um, get there by 11. But yeah, if you guys are out there, there's a chance. I'm sure Fed will be out there. His brother, you get to meet Fed too. So man, go out and support Diego. He's going to be fighting out here in LA in his hometown on July 18th
18.
at the StubHub Center. So the tickets are on sale now. There's going to be quite a few good fights. Andy Cruz is on that card. He was
Yep.
supposed to be fighting Albert Bell on that card, but Albert Bell went a different direction,
Yeah.
But yeah, try to get out there for that. And then also next Wednesday, and I'm gonna pull something up real quick. Next Wednesday, July 15th, from 7 to 9 p.m. There's a free event going on, and you have to RSVP. It's in the Supreme Boxing Story. Mike is going to put it up as well. There's a short film called The Corner. That's going to be airing at the Brandsdall Gallery Theater on 4800 Hollywood Boulevard in Hollywood. There's going to be a lot of fighters there. There's going to be a lot of boxers are going to be there. Different boxing media is going to be there. You're going to get a chance to meet different people. Nancy from the WBC will be there, and it's a very good documentary about boxing in the inner city of Los Angeles and how Coach Daisy, who's a coach out there, has kind of overcame, everything that the city has thrown at her and became a great boxing coach out there and has done a lot for her community. It is a short film, but the event is from 7 to 9 p.m. next Wednesday. It is a free event also. So don't feel just because you're RSVPing, you're going to have to buy a ticket or nothing. It's a free event. We want you to make it out there as a fan. Go out there. If you love boxing, go out there and support. You can watch the video on Supreme Boxing. I'll be sending Mike the video after that. Actually, I'm probably going to put a post up and collab with the Casual Expert. So if you guys get a chance, man, go out there and support Daisy. And it's gonna be a good short film, So try to get out there. Try to get out there and support.
Yeah. I'll be out there. So if you see me, say what's up.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So that's it for tonight. I'll see y'all next Tuesday night. Boxing news. We got Stack Supreme Boxing, Mike Theory. Appreciate y'all. See y'all next week.